Did you know that only 10% of your happiness is determined by your life circumstances? That's right. Where you live, how much money you make, or even your career only account for a small fraction of how happy you feel. The other 90%, it's shaped by your mindset and actions. So what if you could unlock the secret to lasting happiness? Not the fleeting joy of material possessions or temporary achievements, but the kind of happiness that fills your soul. Tonight, we'll explore a timeless Buddha tale that reveals the path to true happiness, a journey that's both scientific and spiritual. Stay with me, because this story holds a lesson that could change your life forever. Happiness. It's what we all strive for, isn't it? Yet for many of us, it feels just out of reach. Some believe it's hidden in wealth, others in relationships, and still others in achievements. But why does it slip away so easily? Why does the joy of buying a new car, landing a promotion, or even falling in love fade with time? The Buddha once said, "Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think." Tonight, let me take you on a journey into a Buddha tale, a story of transformation, inner peace, and the surprising science of happiness. Long ago, in a small kingdom nestled between towering mountains, lived a prince named Siddharth. Though he had every luxury, a palace of gold, gardens overflowing with flowers, and the finest clothes and feasts, Siddharth was not happy. He would wander the palace halls, staring at the shimmering walls, wondering why his heart felt so empty. His servants whispered among themselves, "How can the prince, who has everything, still be unhappy?" One evening, Siddharth called upon his wisest advisor, an elderly monk named Ananda. "Tell me, Ananda," the prince said, "why am I unhappy? I have wealth, power, and every comfort imaginable. What more could I want?" Ananda smiled gently. "Your Highness, true happiness cannot be found in the things you possess. It lies in understanding the nature of your mind." The prince was intrigued but unconvinced. "If that is so, Ananda, teach me how to find this happiness." The monk nodded. "To begin, you must leave the palace for a time. Walk among the people, see their lives, and you will find your first lesson." Siddharth left the palace disguised as a commoner. In his journey, he encountered three people who each showed him a different face of suffering. First, he met an old man bent with age, his hands trembling as he tried to lift a bucket of water. Siddharth asked him, "Why do you struggle so?" The man sighed. "My body is weak, and my mind is weary. I have lived a long life, but it feels as though happiness has always been just beyond my reach." Next, Siddharth met a grieving woman holding a small urn. Tears streamed down her face as she explained, "This contains the ashes of my son. He was my joy, and now that he's gone, the world feels empty." Finally, Siddharth came across a merchant sitting by the river, clutching his chest in pain. "What troubles you?" Siddharth asked. The merchant replied bitterly, "I built an empire of wealth, but my competitors ruined me. All that I worked for is gone." Siddharth was struck by the weight of their pain. No amount of riches, relationships, or accomplishments seemed to shield people from suffering. Returning to the palace, Siddharth sought out Ananda once more. "I've seen suffering in every form," he said. "What hope is there for happiness if we are all bound by pain and loss?" Ananda smiled knowingly. "Your Highness, the key lies in what we call impermanence. Everything in life changes. Our youth, our possessions, even the people we love. But this is not a cause for despair. It is the doorway to freedom." "How?" Siddharth asked. Ananda taught him a technique that was both profound and simple. Gratitude. Recognize the blessings in your life, however small they may seem. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. Detachment. Understand that nothing in life is permanent. Clinging to things, people, or even emotions only leads to suffering. Mindfulness. Live fully in the present moment. Happiness is found not in yesterday or tomorrow, but in the here and now. Eager to test this wisdom, Siddharth returned to the three people he had met. First, he visited the old man. "Your body may be weak," Siddharth said, "but your mind can still be strong. Tell me, what are you grateful for?" The old man hesitated, then smiled. "The morning sun warms my face, and the stream quenches my thirst. These small things bring me joy." Next, Siddharth went to the grieving woman. "Your pain is great," he said, "but your love for your son lives on. Let that love flow to others who are in need. The woman began helping orphaned children in her village, and slowly her grief softened into purpose. Finally, Siddharth visited the merchant. "Your riches are gone," he said, "but your knowledge and skill remain. Use them to rebuild, not for wealth, but to serve others." The merchant began teaching young traders, finding fulfillment in sharing his wisdom. Over time, Siddharth witnessed remarkable transformations in these people. The old man found joy in the simple beauty of nature. The grieving woman discovered happiness in giving. And the merchant, once consumed by greed, found peace in selflessness. Siddharth realized that happiness wasn't about escaping suffering, it was about embracing life with gratitude, detachment, and mindfulness. Returning to the palace, he shared these lessons with his people. The kingdom flourished, not because of its wealth, but because its people learned the art of living with open hearts and open minds. And now this story turns to you. Science backs what the Buddha taught thousands of years ago. Studies show that practicing gratitude rewires your brain for positivity. And letting go of attachments reduces stress and increases resilience. Living in the present moment enhances your overall well-being. So, how can you start? Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Notice your attachments, whether to things, people, or outcomes, and practice letting go. Spend 5 minutes a day being mindful. Focus on your breath, your surroundings, or even the taste of your food. Happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you cultivate moment by moment. True happiness is not in what you have, it's in how you live. Try these 3 steps today. You might just discover the happiness that's been waiting for you all along. Thank you for taking the time to delve into this tale. If it resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel for more inspiring and insightful content. May the silent wisdom find its place in your own journey.